Thousands of students marched through Istanbul, demanding justice and freedom for jailed friends and democratic rights. Meanwhile, claims of mistreatment and strip searches during detention flood in from protesters arrested during the country's mass pro-democracy rallies. In Germany, Friedrich Merz seals coalition deal to become chancellor, vowing to boost defense and rescue Europe's biggest economy from recession threats. And all-women Syrian Kurdish forces lead another successful anti-ISIS operation in northern Syria's Roj refugee camp, with multiple arrests and seizure of materials used to radicalize children. Learn more with Medya News. Thousands of university students gathered in Istanbul's Kadıköy district on Tuesday, marching from the waterfront to Festival Park in defiance of police warnings. The Youth Solidarity Stage event drew crowds from top Turkish universities like Boğaziçi, Istanbul and Koç, united in protest against the arrests of fellow students involved in recent demonstrations. The march culminated in a massive open-air solidarity concert featuring popular Turkish bands and the Kurdish avant-garde group Siyah Bend, which drew thunderous applause for its stand with the students. Chanting slogans such as "Freedom for Mahir" and "Ekrem" and "Everywhere is Taksim, everywhere is resistance," students condemned political repression and demanded democratic freedoms. Solidarity came not only from fellow students but also from families of the detained. The Parents' Solidarity Network welcomed marchers at Festival Park, urging the government to release their children. In a joint statement, 15 university collectives called for general strikes and broader alliances with workers' unions. As the crowd echoed cries of "justice" and "down with the trustee regime," students vowed to continue resisting. Their message was clear: the youth will not stay silent in the face of injustice. Allegations of police brutality and ill treatment in Turkey are flooding in following the detention of hundreds of students protesting the arrest of Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu. Legal experts and human rights activists claim that many of the detainees, reportedly over 300 students, have been subjected to strip searches, physical abuse, and degrading conditions. While the Turkish government denies the accusations, human rights advocates have upheld the accusations. The Turkish Justice Minister Yilmaz Tunç outright rejected the claims, stating, "There is no such thing as a strip search in our country. We cannot allow such practices." He insisted that all detention procedures in Turkey are lawful and properly regulated. However, lawyers representing the students dispute this, citing multiple testimonies from young detainees describing forced strip searches and violence during custody. Prominent human rights defender and MP Ömer Gergerlioğlu of the Dem Party slammed the government for repeatedly denying strip searches are used in Turkish prisons. The state is trying to cover up the problem by constantly denying its existence, he said, stressing that dozens of women reported strip searches during the recent protests. With mounting pressure from human rights organizations, there are now calls for an independent investigation. Families of those detained insist their children were peacefully exercising their constitutional rights and demand their immediate release. Germany's conservative leader, Friedrich Merz, has secured a coalition deal with the centre-left Social Democrats, paving the way for him to succeed Chancellor Olaf Scholz. The agreement follows intense negotiations after February's snap election left no party with a clear majority. Merz, head of the Christian Democratic Union, is set to take office in early May, pending approval from coalition partners. His leadership comes after Scholz's tenure, which was marred by economic fallout from the war in Ukraine and domestic political rivalry. The new coalition aims to restore economic stability amid fears of recession, with Merz promising increased defense spending and support for businesses facing high costs. Both parties have already agreed to loosen Germany's debt rules to fund infrastructure projects and boost growth. The deal also signals a tougher stance on migration, with Merz vowing to tighten controls after former Chancellor Angela Merkel's Liberal 2015 refugee policies. The coalition, holding 328 of 630 Bundestag seats, ensures a stable majority despite declining support for traditional parties. With Social Democrat members set to vote on the deal, Germany is poised for a return to conservative leadership, crucial for addressing both domestic and international challenges. In north and east Syria, a major security operation led by Kurdish women's forces has dealt a significant blow to ISIS activity in the region. Over a 3-day operation ending on Monday, the Women's Internal Security Forces, known as the Asayish, alongside the Women's Protection Units, or YPJ, arrested 16 suspected ISIS members in Roj camp in the Jazeera canton. The camp houses families of alleged ISIS fighters, mostly women and children. The operation, described by authorities as preemptive and intelligence-based, uncovered a secret tunnel and seized communication devices used to coordinate with external extremist networks. It also disrupted ongoing recruitment efforts. During the sweep, security forces found educational materials and tools aimed at radicalizing children and training them in weapon use. The Autonomous Administration has long warned that the camps are breeding grounds for extremist ideology and made urgent appeals for international support in holding ISIS affiliates to trial and for the urgent repatriation of foreign national camp residents. Women-led forces have played a central role in northern Syria's stabilization efforts, and this latest success highlights both their capability and the ongoing threat posed by ISIS remnants.